Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let's continue our discussion on a certain linguistic unit so-called phrase. I do really hope that you already get clear ideas about the difference between word and phrase. A word is a linguistic unit discussed in morphology. So if we have to define it, if we have to make a definitions about word which is closely related to syntax. So I would like to define word as a string of letters. So it is perceived from the orthographic point of view. Orthographically, a word is a string of letters. Okay, and there is a space before that and a space after that. So because weekend is a string of letters and then there is no space in between, so there is a space before that and there is a space after weekend, that linguistic unit is considered as a word. Okay, now let's talk about let's say if you see someone who is young, he is still 5-year, he is a 5-year-old boy. 5-year-old is a string of letters. There is no space in between. So 5 is F-I-V-E and then dash Y-E-A-R dash O-L-D. There is no space in between. 5-year-old boy. 5-year-old is a word. Okay. We are going to talk about that further. Okay, now let's come back to the concept of a word is a string of letters. And what about phrase? Phrase is a string of words, which is different from clause and sentences later. Why? So the most important difference between phrase and clause is a clause is a string of words that has got subject predicate construction, meanwhile phrase is a string of words that has no subject predicate construction. Okay, yeah, we are going to talk about clause later, next week. Now, talking about phrase, so what kind of construction has phrase got? Yeah, a phrase is a string of words that has got a certain word becoming its head. Okay, and then we are going to talk about the other words. What are they later? And then the head of the phrase can be said as the most important part of that words that constructing the string of words. I'm telling you again, a phrase is a string of words that has got a certain word becoming its head. And then the grammatical category of the head determines the type of the phrase. Okay, I'm telling you again, the grammatical category of the head determines the types of the phrase. In other words, the grammatical category of the head determines the grammatical category of the phrase. Let me tell you that at least there are 4 types of phrases. There are 4 types of grammatical category of phrase. What are they? Noun phrase, verb phrase, adjective phrase, and the last one is prepositional phrase. Let's focus on discussing the first type, noun phrase. What is noun phrase? Noun phrase is a string of words that has got noun as its head. For example, in English, beautiful girl is a string of words consisting of two words. Okay, which one is the head? So how do we determine which one the head is? By asking which one are we talking about? When we are talking about, when we are given a phrase, a string of words, beautiful girl, are we talking about beautiful, or are we talking about girl? Which one is the most important part that we would like to convey? Yes, girl. So that is the reason why the string of words beautiful girl has got girl as the head. And then what is the grammatical category of girl? Yes, the grammatical category of girl is noun. So what type of phrase is it? Yes, it is a noun phrase because the head of the phrase is noun. And then what about beautiful? Let's talk about the grammatical category. Beautiful girl. The grammatical category of girl is noun, and the grammatical category of beautiful is adjective. We are only talking about the grammatical category. We haven't come to the discussions about the structure. Let's come back to beautiful, to girl. What is girl? Noun. Yes, everybody knows that. And what is the syntactic function of beautiful of the girl in that phrase? In beautiful girl, the grammatical category of girl is noun, and it functions as the head. And what about beautiful in beautiful girl? The beautiful is an adjective. In that structure, in that construction, beautiful functions as a word that modifies the head. That is the reason why beautiful in this structure is called as modifier. Something which is modifying the head. Okay, do you get the point? And then, let's take another example. Big box. Okay, so which one is the head? Box, because we are talking about box. We are talking about box. We are not talking about big, right? And then box is the head. So, what is the grammatical category of box? Noun. Okay, it is a noun phrase. And then what about big? Big is adjective. Yes, it is a grammatical category. What is the functions of big? The function is a modifier. Okay. Pria tampan. Okay, which one is the head? Okay. So the head is, are we talking about pria or are we talking about tampan? We are talking about pria. So pria is the head. What is the grammatical category of pria? Noun. So pria tampan is a noun phrase. And then what about tampan? So it is adjective. Yes, the grammatical category of tampan is adjective. And then what about the function? The function is as the modifier. Okay. And then there is a conclusion. Oh, Pak Fauzi. So it seems that the modifier, the other element, okay, so you come to the conclusions that the modifier is adjective. Wait. Usually, the word becoming the, what you call that, becoming the modifier is adjective, but not always. Let's come back to the word big box. Which one is the head? Box. So the grammatical category is noun. It is a noun phrase. And what about big? Adjective. So the function, it's modifier. Now I'm asking you, pencil box. Are we talking about pencils? Or are we talking about pencil or are we talking about box? We're talking about box. What is the grammatical category of box? Noun. So it is a noun phrase. Pencil. What is the grammatical category of pencil? Noun. Is it the head? No. It is another element. So it is. What is the grammatical category of pencil? It is a noun. Functioning as the head? No. The head is box. What is the functions of pencil? As a modifier. Okay? Modifier is not always adjective, but it can be noun. Noun functioning as a modifier in grammar is called noun eject. If you ask me, Pak Fauzi, which one is correct? Education background or educational background? I'm asking, let's come back to this analysis. Education background, educational background. Is it a noun phrase? Yes. Why? Because we are talking about education, or are we talking about background? We are talking about background. And then background is noun. And then what is educational? Educational is adjective, functioning as a modifier. Okay? Education background, is it correct? Yes. What phrase is it? Is it a noun phrase? The head is background. What about education? It is also noun, functioning as modifier. Okay? So, modifier is a syntactic function. You can read in my book, in the section, in chapter 3, in the sections of syntactic function, fungsi sintaktis satuan bahasa. Okay, so we haven't finished discussing noun phrase. Oh, another element besides what you call that? Besides head is always modifier. Not always. For example, the book. Are we talking about the or are we talking about book? We're talking about book. What is the other element besides book? The. What is the grammatical category of the? Article. Okay. So that is the grammatical category. And what is the functions of the? It functions as determiner. Okay. A book. A girl. So are we talking about a or are we talking about girl? We are talking about girl. It is a noun. It is the head. It is a noun becoming the head, so it is a noun phrase. What about a? It is article. Different from the is definite article, meanwhile a is indefinite article. You know that already. And then what is the functions of a or the? The functions of a or the in this construction, in a girl or in the book, as the determiner. Indefinite determiner and definite determiner. Okay, everybody? So, can we come to the discussions about verb phrase? I'm telling you again, what is noun phrase? Noun phrase is a string of words that has got noun as its head. And what about verb phrase? Verb phrase is a string of words that has got verb as the head. For example, drink is a verb. Drink water is not a verb. It is a phrase. Okay? Drink water. Are we talking about drink or are we talking about water? Yes, we are talking about drink. So drink water is a verb phrase because the head is verb. What about water? Water is a noun. Yes. But in that construction, what is the syntactic functions of water? Yes, object. Okay? Yeah. So, what is, so we already got a certain constructions of a phrase, verb plus object in a verb phrase. Oh yeah, Pak Fauzi, so it seems that verb phrase is always has got verb plus verb as the head and then noun as the object. Not always. For example, dance beautifully. Okay, so it is a string of words. Are we talking about dance or are we talking about beautifully? Dance. Okay, dance is the hat. So that is the reason why it is verb, phrase. What is beautifully? Beautifully is an adverb. It is a grammatical category. What is the function? The functions of beautifully here as the modifier. The modifier is noun phrase is adjective. The modifier in the phrase is adverb. Okay? So we can see here, so when you study grammar, so your teacher in grammar class explains that there is transitive verb versus intransitive verb. Yes, transitive verb is a verb that occurs in a verb phrase with transitivity construction. It needs the occurrence of object. In drink water, sing a song, sing songs. But in dance beautifully, work alone, run fast. So the verb here is in transitivity, is a transitive verb. So accompanied by adverb as the modifier. In transitive construction, verb is accompanied by object. Is accompanied by noun functioning as an object. Okay? Go over the book. Okay? Read the pages that I recommended you, and then to get clearer explanations about the functions, go to the I am telling you the function of linguistic units in chapter 3, 3.1, 3.11 until 3.111. Okay, we already talked about noun phrase, we already talked about the phrase, and now let's talk about adjective phrase. What is noun phrase? It's a string of words that has got noun as the head. What is verb phrase? It's a string of words that has got verb as the head. What is adjective phrase? Adjective phrase is a string of words that has got adjective as the head. For example, very beautiful. Are we talking about very or are we talking about beautiful? Beautiful, right? What is beautiful? What is grammatical category of beautiful? Adjective. It is adjective phrase. And then what is the other element besides beautiful? Very. Okay, what is very? Very is a particle. Yeah, okay, against particle. What is the function, the syntactic functions of very? It is an intensifier. Okay. You see? Yeah. So we have got limited time. It is already 18 minutes. When we are talking about what you call that modifier, intensifier. Okay, for example, intensifier first. Now we are. So intensifier comes usually before the adjective, like very beautiful. In English, the modifier also usually comes before the head. So it is called modifier. I mean, it is not post modifier but pre-modifier. And in Indonesian, for example, cantik. Cantik is an adjective, right? Sangat cantik. Is it a phrase? Yes. What phrase is it? Is it a noun phrase, adjective, verb phrase, or adjective phrase? Adjective phrase, because we are talking about cantik. So sangat here is the intensifier. So it is a pre-modifier. Okay, and the adjective for very beautiful is not always sangat cantik in Indonesian. Can be cantik sekali. Okay. So what about cantik sekali? It is also adjective phrase. The head is cantik. What about sekali? Sekali is an intensifier that comes after the what you call the adjective. So it is not pre-modifier, but it is post-modifier. Okay. So not modifier, intensifier. Okay. Gadis cantik. So cantik here is a post modifier. Beautiful girl, beautiful here is pre-modifier. Why don't you go over the book to get clearer ideas about pre-modifier versus post-modifier, pre-determiner, post-determiner. Noun phrase, verb phrase, adjective phrase, prepositional phrase. Everybody, what is prepositional phrase? Prepositional phrase is a string of words I'm telling you again and again. So when we are discussing syntax, we are talking about string of words. What is prepositional phrase? Prepositional phrase is a string of words that has got preposition as the cap. For example, at the library. So a string of words. So what do you want to talk about when you say at the library? Yeah, I would like to tell the place where he is. Okay. So you are talking about, so you want to explain the place, the position at the library, okay, in the class. Okay. And then when we are talking about preposition, why don't you go over preposition, and then why don't you also go over the word you call that prepositional phrase. Inshallah you will get clearer explanation. So what I am telling you is just a trigger. Okay, we have got limited time. It is already 22 minutes already. Okay, everybody, hopefully what I am telling you can decrease your confusion. Last meeting we already talked about the introduction to syntax, so I also ask you to get to be well informed with the concepts of grammatical category that we really need to discuss the syntactic function in the structure of phrases that we discussed today. Okay? Yeah. Everybody, my beloved students, be well informed with the syntactic knowledge. If you be well informed with linguistic knowledge, inshallah, you will become professional language teachers. Amin ya rabbal alamin. To be professional, to be well informed, what you have to do. So only 3 things that you have to do. First is read, and read. Okay. Yeah, happy reading. Please go over the pages that I recommended you already. The last word from me today is Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.